Here's a sneak peek from today's episode.
We're really trying to bring all of our partners and patrons into that storytelling because honestly, we wouldn't be here without them, right? We feel a tremendous sense of gratitude for them, for all the time that they've spent with us.
Welcome to the Content Amplified podcast, brought to you by Masset. Our goal is to help you get more from your marketing content. Each episode is a 10 to 15 minute interview with industry experts that share amazing insights to help you squeeze as much juice from your content as you possibly can. Here's today's interview.
Welcome back to another episode of Content Amplified. Today I'm joined by Anna. Anna, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Anna, I'm excited. This is going to be a fun conversation, something that I feel like you guys do a really good job of. And I'm excited to learn more about it. I mean, even before we started recording, I had like a million questions. So before we dive into that though, Anna, let's get to know you. Tell us a little bit about your background and your work history and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me again. I am the Associate Director of Brand at Tauck, which is a fully guided tour operator. I've been in marketing for a little over 15 years now. I started in consumer goods. I've worked in food. I've worked in personal care. I've worked in pet food. And I love it. I love brand management. I love thinking about the consumer, really being consumer first, understanding a consumer, what motivates them, and hopefully serving them a solution or an experience that will benefit them overall.
I love that. So I'm going to throw you a curveball question because the nature of what this business does, if you had to pick any one of these tours, which one would you choose? Like, I mean, already I'm super jealous of everything you offer, but anywhere that's like on the bucket list you haven't gone yet that you would love to do?
Gosh, it's impossible to choose. I think this job has definitely made my wanderlust 10 times worse. I have not been on a safari. I would love to do that. I'd love to go to Patagonia. And I've been to every continent except for Antarctica now. So I really do want to check that one off my list as well.
Very cool. I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Anna, something cool about your company. How long has it been around?
Yes. So this year we are celebrating our 100th anniversary, which is phenomenal. I have only been with the company about 2.5 years. I took a turn from consumer goods into travel and I love it. And so I haven't really been here through that history, but we have many people who have been working for Tauck for decades. And it's such a sense of pride for everyone in the organization to have made it to this milestone. We feel like we're 100 years young. We really feel like the values that have been with the company throughout the 100 years are evergreen, and they are the type of values that keep propelling us forward and keep us thinking in an innovative and entrepreneurial mindset, which I think is a big reason why we're still thriving today. We have so much to look forward to in our second century.
I love that. Isn't that incredible? A century. Like that's a big term you can claim for the business. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, most companies aren't 100 years old, right? Most brands aren't 100 years old. And this family has built this amazing business. And we carry so many passengers everywhere in the world and get to deliver amazing experiences for them, lifetime memories, truly. And that's really special. It's really a very wonderful thing to be able to say that you are a part of making that happen for people.
I love that. So with such a rich history, what I found, like looking through the website, looking through the brand, looking through everything you're doing, you've leaned into it. You tell your story. Like I've seen old photographs of the original team working on things. How are you weaving the story into your brand and messaging and marketing even today, so that people kind of feel like they are experiencing that journey with you?
Yeah. You know, the founding of our company was really kind of an accident, right? Or Arthur Tauck Jr. would say his father founded it really on a lark. He was a bank messenger, and it was his job to lower the cigar box full of coins into the vault at night. And one of them spilled and dimes went scattering everywhere. And his boss fired him and said, until you figure out a better solution, you're not getting your job back. And he invented the aluminum coin trays that most banks still use today. And so he got his job back And he thought, this is a really good solution I figured out here. I'm going to start selling this to other banks. So he would go on his lunch break and sell it to other companies. He was successful enough. He decided to go out on the road and do that full time. And just by traveling as a salesman, he really thought, wow, more people should visit these places that I'm traveling through in New England. And so he put together a tour. So he really just saw these opportunities and continued to just innovate on his own and try things out. And that is still a really important part of our company's mindset and culture today. We're always thinking about what's next. How do we get better? How do we improve? Where else can we go in the world? What other types of experiences can we bring to our guests? That's always at the forefront of our thinking. So to us, that's why the history is so important, because those values are what have carried us through and what continue to carry us forward. Even now, we have a lot of new tours for this year and new tours for next year that we're building with new experiences that we're really excited about. So to us, that's a really important part of what we do every day.
Okay. So that's amazing. So you've got not only like the message that you can share with people, but you have this cultural, your actual founder built this company off of his own personal exploration. Like, that's so cool that it's so ingrained in the business even today. How have you found opportunities in your marketing, in your messaging, on your website to connect people with your business through the history? Like, how have you done a good job? And it's amazing, of telling the story and allowing that story to really let people feel very comfortable to work with the business and be excited to actually have some of these, like you said, bucket list memories that they're going to remember for the rest of their life. It's going to go in a journal. In 100 years, their great great grandchildren are going to read about these memories. How does that all intertwine, and how do you manage to pull that off?
It's a balancing act. I think we don't want to dwell on the past really, but we do want to share some of the great things that have happened over the years, the great milestones, the great stories. And a lot of our guests have been with us for a long time. We have longtime patrons who've been traveling with us for decades. So they were a part of this, So actually what we're really trying to do is to share more stories from our patrons and our partners who we've had longstanding relationships with. And so one thing that anybody can really do, employees, patrons, partners, is go on our website and share their stories of their experiences with Tauck. And we have patrons who have been on 50 tours or more with us. I mean, they've pretty much spent a year of their life with Tauck, on tour with Tauck. And so we've reached out to them, we interview them, we're sharing some of their stories. They send us photos. They still have some of the older brochures that are just a great little look back in time. We're really trying to bring all of our partners and patrons into that storytelling, because honestly, we wouldn't be here without them, right? We feel a tremendous sense of gratitude for them, for all the time that they've spent with us. We have partners who we've been working with for decades, and so much of our success is because of our relationships with those people. So we just really want to express the gratitude for helping us get to this milestone. And so any way we can share that, whether it's, a letter from a patron or a blog post or an interview with a partner. We have partners out on tour who are surprising our guests with 100th anniversary cakes or a bunch of tour guides for our safaris. We're singing happy birthday to Tauck, So however people want to celebrate in their way, we're trying to share that through all of our channels as well, whether it's our blog, our social media, we share a lot through email with our patrons. And yeah, it's just been a lot of fun to see all the different stories come in and to share it with those partners and patrons.
I love where you're taking this. So it's not just, hey, this is our story. Here's our founder. Here's our company. Here's what we do. Your story is the thousands of stories of individuals having these adventures. So I want to get really tactical for just a minute, something that people can take away from this. You already gave great examples like the birthday cakes and singing happy birthday, all that kind of stuff. How are you encouraging your patrons to share their story with you? You talked about there's some stuff on the website. Is there outreach? Is there compensation? You said interviews. Like, I know you're trying to do it in a whole bunch of different formats, but what have you found to be really, really successful when it comes to getting them to share their stories?
Yeah, We have our patrons know how to get a hold of us for sure. And so it does come in through a variety of channels. We do have a page on our website where anyone can submit their story. So we have a form. They can upload a certain amount of photos. They can submit a pretty long write-up or a letter or what have you. And sometimes we get them submitted through guest relations or reservations just because people don't know the right path, and it all ends up coming back to us, which is great. Sometimes we have a consumer who went on a tour and they just love photography and they have amazing photography and they want to share what they did or share their experience. And so we'll even put that on the blog, and that'll be one of our photo journals. It won't be from one of our photographers. It'll actually be from a guest. It's very important to us that as much as possible, we show the real guest experience. So if you see people in our photos, those are real guests. That is the actual experience that you're going to get when you're on tour with us. And so we love that guests are also submitting things like that we can use. But it can come in through a variety of ways. We all work very closely here. Collaboration is big within our office. And so no matter how it comes in, it does get back to us. And we love hearing those stories, and the guests love hearing them. Anytime we're sharing footage from the road on social media or somewhere else, that's what's always getting the most engagement from our guests, because they love seeing what's really happening on tour. They love it when they see a tour guide that they know, one of our top directors. Our top directors are the best in the business. And so oftentimes, if you see a picture of them on social and you read the comments, it's like, oh my gosh, we went with Nick on this tour. He's the best. We love him. We want to go with him again. And sometimes even with these patrons who have been over 50 tours with us, you might post a patron and somebody else will say, we met them on this tour and we met them on this tour. Our guests love meeting each other. They love that community that is built on a tour, and they really do form lifelong friendships with some people. They start traveling together once they get to know each other well enough. They start planning Tauck trips together. And so it's really fun to see all of that come in. We're taking it in any way we can, and there's different ways we can share it depending on what it is. Sometimes it's a wonderful story that's live on the blog. Sometimes we would love to actually connect with that consumer or that patron. So we'll reach out and maybe do a phone interview. And other times it's other multimedia stuff that we can share through video or photography as well.
I love that. There's not just a single pathway for collecting these stories. Like, you've opened up the whole company to be really receptive of, if there's a story to be told, please collect it, get it back to us. Let's take advantage of all these opportunities. I am curious. So with your directors, I think this is this could be like 5 episodes worth, but with your directors, do they get involved in like the storytelling as well? Because they're building these relationships. How are you utilizing that? Because it's almost like you've got, I don't know, in like technology, you'd call them subject matter experts, but like you've got these mini influencers in the company. How do you kind of harness their storytelling and their experiences?
Yeah, every year we have almost like a summit where all the tour directors come together before the kickoff of the season, and a handful of us meet with them from the office. And so that's always a great time to connect with a lot of them. But throughout the year, we're staying connected to them through a variety of channels as well. Social media, obviously, if they're really active on social media, we're always following them, chatting with them, talking to them. Sometimes it could be through, our office has a monthly connection point with the Tauck directors through Zoom and other things where we let them know of things coming up. Sometimes if it can't wait, we kind of send it out into the network through our tour director operations team, and they can solicit some feedback, whether it's feedback or content or ideas. We try to do that in real time when we need to. We recognize they're really busy. They're constantly traveling. Some of them, if you ask them what they do when they're not guiding, they're traveling. They love to travel all the time. And so it is, however, we try to do it however is convenient for them. Sometimes it's just on WhatsApp. But yeah, and if they see something or if something on tour happens that's really special, they know where to they know how to reach us. They send it through. We have a WhatsApp channel for them to always send us something if they need to. We have a new digital asset management system where they can submit it there as well. So trying to give them a variety of ways to make it as convenient as possible, because when they're on the road, you can't always open up your laptop and send something through the internet.
I love that. That's amazing. And I like how you're giving them the freedom. And this sounds like the real theme of this episode. I love how flexible you are in telling the story. People can share it with your business however it's most comfortable, and you're open to receiving those. Some directors may have their own social media profiles, and you're very encouraging of that. You're promoting that. It's so cool that you're really finding a million different touch points to tell a succinct story, but from so many different perspectives. And I think that is such a cool example and reminder for all of us that storytelling is, even with a rich history, is coming from and is being lived today by the patrons, the directors, the individuals interacting with the business. That's where the story's coming from. I love it. This is so cool. It's a great reminder about storytelling. Anna, we have run out of time. These episodes go by so quick. But if anyone wants to connect with you online, how and where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn, Anna Dietrich.
For everyone listening, just go to the show notes. We'll link to Anna's profile inside of the show notes. You can connect with her on LinkedIn. Anna, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate the time today.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Content Amplified podcast. Please subscribe and leave us a review. And for additional ways to get more out of your content, visit our website at getmasset.com. That's getmasset.com. And tune in next time to the Content Amplified podcast.